Hey folks, how's it going? Today we are talking about a game that tackles the gig economy while hunting monsters. This is iHunt the RPG from Machine Age Games. The world of iHunt is based around a series of novels that was originally published online. Generally, iHunt takes place in a world much like ours, but there is the threat of the supernatural to humans. In this urban fantasy setting, the internet and technology have become entwined with the practice of hunting monsters. A phone application called iHunt posts jobs for hunters to take on, which the hunters can accept if they swipe right on them. People on this app are independent contractors, kind of like an Uber driver. But the job is a lot deadlier. Creating a for-profit industry out of the dangerous job of hunting monsters is, of course, exploitative. Generally, only the desperate turn to monster hunting as a gig to pay the bills. There are a few settings and places that are provided in the manual for somewhere that a game in iHunt could take place. Generally, these reflect a North American vibe. This manual follows a new hunter getting their start in the industry, as well as sprinkling other pieces of lore from other characters throughout the manual. This method reveals the world of iHunt gradually as you are reading the mechanics. I am particularly interested in some of the adversaries that are mentioned in the book that belong to certain locations. If you wanted to, you could absolutely take these characters and their biographies and reflavor or reskin them as you needed. Many of them have compelling reasons as to why you as a hunter might want to take them down, or perhaps why you would like to give them a wide berth. iHunt is criticizing late-stage capitalism and the gig economy. Similar to our own world, it's often the most financially vulnerable that take on these dangerous jobs. People with better support systems and more financial support in their lives are less likely to take on jobs that could risk their lives just for the sake of paying rent. This manual does mention that the circumstances of the game does focus on millennials, though I'm sure anyone who can empathize with the struggles of financial instability can find something to relate to in this story and its world. There's also a history of monster hunting throughout different generations that are mentioned in this book. I think perhaps you could make a monster hunter from a different generation if you wanted to. iHunt has a very dry and gallows humor tone. Humans are very much at the disadvantage when fighting monsters. Combining this with a need to hunt monsters to live makes the grave humor very relatable. In universe, when a person dies fighting a monster, their fellow hunters say that they found a fair fight, because in a fight between a human and a supernatural being that's on equal footing, the human's going down. iHunt is based off the Fate Core and the Fate Accelerated systems. Typically, there are 4 reasons that a player will be rolling their dice: to overcome an obstacle, to create an advantage, to attack, and to defend. Fate dice are d6s that, instead of being numbered from 1 to 6, have 3 different options equally on the dice. There's a subtraction, a blank, and an addition. This means that the result from rolling your fate dice is anything between a -4 and a +4. Depending on how difficult a task is, you'll need a certain number of pluses to succeed. iHunt adds their own twist by adding in a thing called the edge die. This is a regular d6 that can be substituted in for one of the fate die. The number values on this d6 are always in the positive. This die is tagged in when a character in the game has created an advantage for themselves. Perhaps they've researched the location thoroughly, or they know another character's secret. The edge die always adds some positive numbers into the pool, which can help your character succeed greatly or not fail too hard. Building a character for this game is a really story-driven experience. You're asked to think about what circumstances led to your character to hunt monsters. You then get to pick the way that your character hunts them. Evilinas do a lot of research into history and to secrets about the monsters. Knights are there to kick ass and kick it hard. Fuis use the latest technology, and the 66ers know people and have plenty of resources around the town. After picking your hunting style for your character, you're asked to think on some more character details. You come up with a concept, a personal drama, something they want, what their day job is, and some aspects. Aspects are some features or traits of your character that are unique to them. You don't get to pick one out of a list. You're asked to get creative and come up with something interesting for your own character. Each character then gets a variety of skills that they're good at. These could be as high as a +4, though most of them are going to be lower than that score. I feel like I've only given you a cursory summary of how this game is played. There's a lot of helpful stuff about how to set challenge ratings while you're the game master, and when to roll against your players. The book does guide you through a lot of the initial character building stuff really well, so I think it's not a hard one to pick up and read. iHunt the RPG is a really cool game in my opinion. Normally, I'm not particularly interested in the fate system, as I tend to like my games to have mechanics that are built in for the vibe that they're going for. The way iHunt handles the mechanics though has me really engaged. They've modified them or flavored them in a way that makes sense for this world, and most of the action is going to be driven by the characters and telling their story. Wisely, this book also covers some safety mechanics and some of the darker themes of the universe. iHunt does have some pretty dark themes, and discussing them before you jump into play is a really wise decision in my opinion. This book is also aesthetically very interesting to look at. There's lots of different textures and images or screen caps from different pieces of technology in the world that you can look at. It makes flicking through the book an interesting experience unto itself. It's clear that a lot of time, love, and money went into making this game. iHunt costs $69 US to purchase, and considering how interesting and packed this book is, I totally think that's worth the price. If you're looking for an urban fantasy game with a slightly darker tone, I definitely think iHunt is one to check out. I've really had a blast today talking to you guys about this game, so please let me know what you think. Do you like urban fantasies? Do you have any examples of ones that you would like to share? Please let me know in the comments down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like, subscribe, maybe share with a friend. It all just encourages me to keep going. I hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you next time at the gaming table. Bye!